Hello, you guys, and welcome back to Mystical Visions. So, today I want to talk all about money. We've just had the 8-8 Lionsgate portal, and it is all about abundance and vibrance. And I thought this would be a really good time to talk about financial abundance. Where is the money? Are there any blocks in your way? What's the universe's money advice? Now, obviously, this is spiritual guidance, not financial advice. So take it as it resonates. And all the advice here is just me channeling. So yeah, just wanted to put that out there. But today we're going to take a look at where you can expect to see more abundance coming in very soon. What financial blocks are in your way at the moment and how you can work around them. And of course, just some general advice from the universe about your financial situation. So, as always, I've gone ahead and pre-shuffled your 3 piles for you. For pile 1, we have a garnet. For pile number 2, we have a sodalite. And for pile number 3, we have a jade. So, as always, I will give you guys some time with these piles rather, and see which one resonates with you energetically, which one calls to you. If this reading in general does resonate with you as well, then please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Timestamps are in the description, so go ahead and pick your pile and I'll see you at your reading. Pile number 1, hello, welcome to your reading about abundance. Where is money coming in from? What's blocking abundance from coming in? And what advice does the universe have for you in general about your abundance? So if you picked this lovely garnet stone, then this is your reading. Before we get into the cards, I should mention your cards were very stubborn and they always wanted to come out in 2s, especially when I asked for like a single card. And if I asked for 2 cards, they wanted to come out in 3s. So you might be seeing repeating 2s, repeating 3s, or you might be seeing ascending numbers. So 2, 3 or 2, 2, 3, 3, that kind of thing. And you might just be in a very stubborn energy at the moment. Just putting that out there. Or your financial situation may be feeling quite stubborn, quite fixed. You can't seem to shake it. So yeah, let's get in. So these first 4 cards are going to tell us where you can expect abundance to come in moving forward. These 4 cards will tell us what blocks, if any, are getting in your way when it comes to your abundance. And then finally, these 2 cards, of course, will give us general advice, and we will read the animal spirit card from the book because those are always really good. So let's just get right in. Where can you expect money to come in the near future? We have the 6 of Cups, ancestral money, inheritance, just the generosity of loved ones, especially people you've known in the past. To clarify, we have the Knight of Wands as well. Oh, this is coming in really quickly. And it might just be money that you receive just because someone likes you. So you might find that maybe someone in your family that you didn't think you were very close to, or you didn't necessarily hang out with very much, you'll find out that they just happen to have a very soft spot for you and they've maybe written you into their will, that kind of thing. Or you might get like a surprise inheritance from a place you didn't expect. Or alternately, someone that you used to know in your past might hire you to do something that you're passionate about. So say now you're an artist, you might find that someone you used to know, a friend, a family member, someone you used to be close to, but may not be quite as close to now, suddenly reaches out and tells you, hey, I have this project for you, and this is, a paid project. I have a lot of money for it. And are you interested? And you take one look at the brief and you realize, oh, this is exactly down my street, down my alley, up my alley. Okay. So money is definitely coming in from someone you've known in the past, who may or may not be in touch with you right now, but they will come in, and this is coming in very quickly. And this person either feels passionately about you and therefore gives you the money, or will help fuel your passion project, or will make you an offer that you feel very excited about. Well, that's cool. Next we have Judgment. Interesting. Okay, and to clarify, we have the Queen of Swords. All right. I think this feels very karmic, in that these are karmic rewards that have been a long time coming. And didn't I say it feels like you've been in a very stuck energy? Like your financial situation just is not progressing. And I think that's because divine timing obviously is always involved. When something isn't going the way we want it to, it is always because of divine timing or its protection. But in this case, obviously, abundance coming in is usually a very good thing. So it is most likely about divine timing. But it does feel like karmic reward, because with this Queen of Swords, I feel like you've done a lot of purging of negative lifestyle choices, negative thought patterns. I feel like you've really worked on your inner monologue, on your self-worth, on your karmic effect on the world around you. It really does feel like you've done your inner work, and it is finally being recognized. Well, it has been recognized this whole time, but it is finally being rewarded in a physical sense, right? The emotional reward of, healing and ascending is the reward in and of itself. But it feels like you're stepping into a cycle now where you're kind of really seeing the effects of all the work that you've done. With this 20, it's interesting. I've never thought this before, but these 2 10s in Roman numeral, it feels like you're closing a double cycle of some sort. Like, I think when it comes to your financial situation, you may have realized that you've gone through a situation twice, and it was pretty much exactly the same. And the first time around, you didn't really learn your lesson, and so it repeated. But the second time around, it hit you straight in the face. Oh, this is why that happened the first time around. Because I know Judgment is card 20, right? And usually these are written in Roman numerals, but for some reason this XX here, it's kind of making me think of doubles. Oh, and 2s. Didn't I say you might be seeing repeating 2s? There might have been a cycle that you've repeated twice, and you're just coming towards the end of the second iteration of it, and you finally learnt your lesson. That's interesting, part 1. So if that kind of resonates, just understand that the cycle is finally finished. You've learned everything you had to from those cycles. And you're finally stepping into a place where you're smarter now. You're doing better with your money. You're making better decisions. You're making better choices. And as a result, that's being rewarded. All right. So let's dive into some blockages. Are there any blocks in your financial abundance? And blocks, it sounds scary, but really it's just ways of thinking that we need to shift, right? So it's good to know upfront what's going on so we can fix it. So we have the 8 of Wands in reverse, clarified by the 3 of Swords, also in reverse. Oh, okay. You are impatient, part 1. You might be quite impatient as a person in general, but especially when it comes to money, I think you might step into a very doom and gloom, a very dramatic, why hasn't this happened? Negative thinking cycle. The second something is slowed down. If things don't go at the exact pace that you want them to, you automatically assume that it's not going to work out. But with the 3 of Swords in reverse, it's telling me it is not so the 3 of Swords usually talks about heartbreak, about, there being a third party influence in your situation. And so with the 8 of Wands in reverse and the 3 of Swords in reverse, it's kind of telling me that there isn't any external influence here. It is just the nature of abundance. It needs a lot of things to be aligned. You need to have all the ducks in a row so that abundance can come in at the right time, in the right way, so that it can stay, right? You might be someone who gets money quickly and then loses it just as quickly or spends it just as quickly. And that might have been the 2 cycles that you've closed off. But now that you're stepping into a new cycle, you want to start being comfortable with things being a little slower. You don't want to just earn a bunch of money and then not have it as a nest egg or anything like this, right? You want to be able to hold on to it. You want to be able to save it and, have deposits and have assets and that kind of thing. But you might be the kind of person where if things are not moving quite quickly, you automatically assume, oh, something horrible is happening, something terrible is going to happen. And then because you think that just inspires that thing to actually happen because you're manifesting all the time, right? So I think one block is this doomsday thinking of, if it doesn't happen immediately, it means that it's not meant to happen ever and that I am cursed or, it's never going to work out, that kind of thinking. It's not true. It's just something you've been telling yourself so often that you've kind of made it true, right? So that's definitely something we can work on, part number 1. Next, we have the 3 of Pentacles, clarified by the 7 of Swords. Okay. Are you someone who has trust issues? Part 1. The 3 of Pentacles talks about working in collaboration, working with other people, but the 7 of Swords is about sneaky energy, about not being able to trust what's going on. I think another mental block you might want to work on is this assumption that every single person you've ever worked with was out to get you, and every single person you will ever work in collaboration with is going to cheat you. Yes, that may have been your experience in the past, but that's just because you were resonating in that frequency. You might have a general mistrust of people. You might automatically assume the worst about people. And as a result, that's the frequency of people, of business partners, of working relationships that you are attracting. If you're finding more and more often that every single person that you want to work with, or that, brings you a job offer, an offer for money or whatever, ends up stabbing you in the back, it's possibly because that's the energy you are putting out, right? Because we attract what we are. And if we are vibrating at the frequency of, there we go, that's that confirmation bike, he's back. But if we are vibrating at the frequency of every single person out there is, out to get me, out to steal from me, the universe is like, yeah, you're right. You're right. Let me prove it to you. Because that's all the universe can do. That's all that is in its power, is to just prove you right. So when we shift that belief into, oh, there might actually be really nice people out there. There are people out there who will help me out of the goodness of their heart, whom I can help out of the goodness of my heart. There are people out there whom I can trust to work with me and not turn around and stab me in the back. The universe is going to be like, oh, actually, you're right. Let me prove it to you. And perhaps you're missing out on a lot of opportunities for abundance just because you're not open to collaboration. You might be forced into collaboration where you feel like you have to work with other people even if you don't want to. But then that's the energy you're putting out there of, oh, I have to depend on other people for money, and, no one's really good enough to work with me. No one's ever trustworthy, and, all that kind of stuff. And so when you do have to collaborate with people, it feels like a chore. It feels like a burden. It feels like a scary idea. But you want to get to the point where you're attracting the kind of people that you are excited to collaborate with. And that can only happen when you build up that excitement to collaborate with other people. Because I do think you can be quite successful when you work with other people. You just need to change how you think about people. I'm surprised the Hanged Man didn't show up, but that's the kind of vibe you want to adopt here. Okay, so that's your blocks and your potential sources of abundance. So let's go ahead and finally take a look at what advice the universe has in store for you. First, we have answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Yeah, part one, I feel like this whole reading has been mostly about you and your internal world. Because even here we looked at, you've closed off cycles, you've done your inner work, you've done your healing, your shadow work. And the only blocks are, mental, psychological, emotional. So I guess the advice really is look into your soul, look inside yourself. What is your relationship to abundance? Is it a scary idea? Is it a burden? Do you see it as something you have to deal with because you live in the physical world? What is your relationship to money? Because that right there will give you all the answers you need about, where you can start healing your relationship with money. And finally, with the spirit animal, you have the badger spirit. Be fearless and bold. And that's number 4. Beautiful. Oh, I love this little badger. So, number 4 could be significant to you. We can get to that page. That would be wonderful. 1, 2, 3, 4. Badger spirit. Be fearless and bold. Badger spirit rejoices at your persistence and commitment to what is true for you. Whatever you seek, your tenacity and faith in your partnership with spirit is paying off, and the results will soon coalesce into form. The gift of Badger Spirit is the surety that taking a risk now and being courageous, fearless, and bold will yield wondrous results. Don't be afraid to make the first move. Badger Spirit loves your brave and mighty heart. Beautiful. So be bold and work on any fears that you have, and obviously the abundance is coming in. So receive it with open arms and an open heart. Okay? So that's your abundance message for today, pile number 1. Let me know if it resonated by giving me a big thumbs up and leaving me a comment below. Subscribe to my channel for more readings. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your energy and time with me and letting me read for you. I really do hope it brought you some support and clarity. You can always stick around to the outro for another reading on my channel. And if you like what I do and would like to support the channel, I have a PayPal link in the video description, and I super appreciate you checking it out. But yeah, thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Hey Pile 2, and welcome to your abundance reading. So if you picked this blue sodalite crystal, then this is your reading. Today we're going to take a look at where you can expect abundance to come in from in the next few years, weeks, days, months, that kind of thing. What money blocks, if any, are in the way of your abundance story. And then finally we'll take a look at some oracle cards for advice. And of course we will read the animal spirit card from the book, which is this little one. So the first pile I recorded was very interesting and fun, so without much further ado, let's just dive right in. Where can you expect money to come in the near future, let's see? Oh, we have the Hermit, and that is clarified by the 7 of Swords. Okay, shadow work. That's interesting. There's lots of animals indicated and a lot of like internal stuff. Because the Hermit talks about going inwards, going into your shadow and doing all your healing and that kind of thing. But the 7 of Swords is about that hidden, sneaky energy. So maybe this is a call for you to do some shadow work, because there might be some hidden negative beliefs about abundance that you haven't explored quite yet. Perhaps there is. I'm getting the feeling that you see money as like a monster. Like, it's great if you know how to control it, but if it gets too powerful, or if you end up getting too much money, it will control you, like that kind of thing. Because this monster in this image here is really getting to me. It's like this fox is afraid of this shadowy monster, but we don't even know if the monster is real. The fox just looks like it's looking at this monster, but all we have is a shadow, so it could really be anything. We just interpret it as a monster. So maybe there are some shadowy views you have about money, about the power it can command, especially. Because with this Hermit card, right, it looks like he is commanding this, I want to call it an animagus. This like, what are you called? Reindeer? No. Buck? Stag. That's the word. This like stag guy doesn't even look real. It looks like a ghostly apparition. It looks like this hermit character is controlling it. And I think you might be concerned that you don't really know how to manage money. And that might be getting in the way of you being able to accept money coming in. So one way you can definitely bring more abundance in is to address that belief. Look into yourself, ask yourself where you learned this idea that money is a ferocious beast that you need to learn how to control, or it will control you. Oh, sorry about that. I just had a massive cough. So maybe you struggle to even talk about money, really. because you think it is this big, scary, powerful monster. And that's okay, you know, we all grow up being taught certain things about money, which may or may not be true, but you know. So it's all right. We've all got our things that we need to work on. But where else can my pile number 2 expect money to come in from? Oh, we have the 3 of coins, a collaboration. You might come across a project very, very soon where you will be asked to work with other people, and that will be very financially rewarding for you. To clarify, we have the Queen of Coins in reverse. Yeah, the Queen of Coins is about independence, about making your own coins. To have that in reverse under the 3 of Coins, it definitely feels like, oh, okay. So it definitely feels like, sorry, I'll circle back. But yeah, there is definitely a collaborative opportunity coming your way very, very soon, part number 2, which will allow you to make a lot of money. However, what might get in the way of it, what might give you a little pause, is this hermit energy of you needing to go inwards and solving some of those issues. That might actually be why it hasn't come in yet, this opportunity, because it does feel like you might take center stage when it does present itself, where your talents and your skills will be very widely recognized. Even though you're working with other people, you might take center stage there. However, I do feel like there are some internal shadow beliefs that you definitely want to address so that this can come in. You might struggle with a streak of hyper independence, which if you do, hello, resonate. But yeah, you might be someone who thinks money that you earn should be on your own terms, and that you shouldn't depend on someone else's work for you to earn money. And that might be a block that you carry with you. And that might be keeping this collaborative opportunity just pushing back and back and back, because you are so focused on you being the only one responsible for your financial abundance, right? So, wow, we haven't even got to the blocks yet, but I definitely see an opportunity to work with other people, not necessarily as co-workers, but rather as a consultant, or as a business owner working with another business owner, or you might be a freelancer working with a big company, something like this, where you get the opportunity to do your thing and be appreciated for it and make a lot of money and also make a big impression. But at the same time, you're also not doing all of it all alone, which is a good thing, because it does feel like it would be a lot of work. So, yeah, that is definitely on its way to you the second you get out of your own way. But now let's get to the actual blocks, because wow. All right. We have the Hanged Man. And that is clarified by the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like these are all just tying into each other, because the Hanged Man is about a new perspective. The story behind this card, the lore, is that this character has just faced his justice, I think is the card that comes before this, and the justice that's been dispensed is to hang him upside down so that he is forced to adopt a new perspective. So the Hanged Man is the Aquarius card, which is all about new perspective. And I think this really ties in very nicely to what we've seen of your energy so far, is perhaps adopting new belief systems about money will bring in a lot of new abundance, because the Ace of Pentacles is literally the universe giving you money. Like, take it. Like, here is an excessive amount of money. Take it. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting. The second you adopt this new perspective on what it means to be abundant, what it means to be wealthy, what it means to be powerful, I think you might consider wealth and power to be exploitative by default. And that might be a sort of a mental block, a belief system that's getting in your way when it comes to money. And it's just something to work on. But that's definitely something the universe is desperately urging you to address and overcome. I think it's because whatever this opportunity is actually part of your soul's purpose, and the universe really needs you to do it, to work on it. Not only would it be wonderful for you, but also for the collective. So I think you are definitely really, really, really being pushed to do this internal work at this time. So when this opportunity comes, you are ready to make the most of it and also receive the benefits of it. Okay, what are the blocks? We have the Two of Wands in reverse. You might be a little short-sighted, and that might just be a byproduct of your beliefs about money. Because it does feel like you don't plan too far into the future. To clarify, we have the Six of Cups. Yeah, I think you might be actively resistant to the idea of being given money, of like receiving money, because you don't deem it right, because you don't think you work hard enough for it. But the thing is, it's not even objectively true, because I feel like you're the kind of person who works an insane amount and still doesn't consider that enough work for how much you're compensated. And I do think you're going to attract more opportunities where you are kind of forced to take that money. So it's a little bit like the universe is like, take it or I'll make you, and then you won't be happy about it. Does that make sense, Paul, too? But I do think there is a lot of abundance that is waiting to come to you. It's not like it's on the distant horizon or anything, but it's right around you, but your aura is like actively shielding you from it, because the energy you put out is, I haven't earned this, I don't deserve this, I am not capable of managing this. And as a result of that, the money is like, it's like you're in a sea of money, but you're in an air bubble, and the air bubble cannot be broken unless you break it yourself. And until you do that, the money will just stay in your periphery. It can't reach you. So, yeah, it does feel like this whole reading was about a specific belief system. And I hope by now you've recognized exactly what it is, because that is what is keeping the abundance from you. So let's take a look at what advice the universe has for you. We have Unbound. There we go. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. This could be a belief system you adapted from a previous life. Maybe you were, you're the kind of soul that actively works against the bourgeoisie and the powers that be, that kind of thing. And you perhaps carry those beliefs into this lifetime to the extent where it's become a limiting belief. And working on this might help you release some of those old patterns that you've carried through lifetimes, because we are in a time now where it is pretty much impossible to survive on principle alone, which shouldn't be how the world works. Obviously, it's messed up, but it is just how it is. And if you want to survive and thrive in this world, you can't be actively repelling the one thing that makes it work, right? So it might be a time to reconsider your relationship with money, because money itself is neutral. It is neither good nor evil. It is just there. It is just something that exists. If anything, it is an amplifier. So it will only amplify the behavior patterns that are already inside of you. So if you see yourself as an overall good person, that amplifies your ability to be good to other people. If you see yourself as a bad person, it is time to ask yourself, why? What is it about yourself that you don't like, that you fear that money might amplify? And how can you work on it? Right? That's important shadow work. And that is what you're being called to do. And finally, from the spirit animal, we have white raven spirit. Trust in the magic. Beautiful. This is number 66. And this is a 6. Lots of 6s. So if that means anything to you, you might be born on the 6th of the month in June. You might be born on June the 6th. You never know. But all right. White raven spirit, trust in the magic. Nothing in the universe is random, for the intricate web of co-creation weaves together all events and has done so since the beginning of time. Coincidences have meaning, and white raven spirit appears to remind you to pay attention to these synchronicities so that you might recognize patterns. Even the winds dance in a pattern, participating in the magic of Spirit's plan for all. Now is the time to trust in the magic of the world that is everywhere and in all things. Pay attention to how things come together as if by magic, and you will see the hand of Great Spirit arranging these things in your favor. Beautiful. That was such an encouraging message. Part 2. But yeah, that's your abundance reading for today. I hope it resonated. Let me know if it did by giving this video a big thumbs up and leaving me a comment below. Subscribe to my channel, of course, for more readings. And if you'd like to support what I do, I now have a PayPal link down in the description, and that would be super helpful. So thank you. But if not, that's fine. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your energy with me anyway, and for letting me read for you. I really do hope it helped and it brought you some support and clarity. Stick around to the outro for another reading on my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye! Pile number 3. Hello, welcome to your abundance reading. So, I've got a spread for you. If you picked this jade crystal, first of all, then welcome. This is your reading. All right. So I've gone ahead and laid out our cards. These first 4 cards are going to tell us about where you can expect new money to come in over the next couple of weeks, months, just the near future. Then we'll look at these 4 cards, which will tell you about any financial blocks that you might have. And obviously these are mental, emotional blocks that are keeping abundance from you. And then finally, we'll take a look at the oracle cards, and that's just general advice from Spirit, the universe, whatever. So, yeah, I didn't really have anything else to say. So let's just dive right in. Where can you expect money to come in the near future? We have the 3 of Cups in reverse. And that is clarified by the Page of Wands. Interesting. It's like you're breaking away from a group and doing your own thing, something that you're passionate about. Because it feels like whatever you were doing with this group in this dynamic initially started out as something you were excited for, something that you would celebrate. But then I feel like you've lost steam. You've lost the passion for it. And now you're being almost like divinely guided in a different direction. And when you follow that different direction is when abundance comes in for you. It feels like you've learned all you could learn in this group setting, and now it's time for you to go out on your own. It will be kind of a fledgling feeling where you may not be quite an expert at doing your own thing yet, and that's okay. It's always a learning curve, but it will definitely bring you abundance. And I feel like in the long term, it will bring you way more abundance than you could have achieved staying with this group. So say now, for instance, you work at a job, you work for someone else, you work like a desk job, 9 to 5, and you've been for a long time meaning to start your own business. This might be a time where you're kind of just in the right position to quit and start your own thing, where you might have enough saved up to take that risk and to explore the idea, if nothing else. Maybe do a side gig, something like this, something that you're excited about, something to bring that fire back into your life. It feels like that's where you're being guided next, and that's where your abundance is moving forward. Next, we have the 7 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, you're going to realize that you don't really need to work quite as hard as you have been. And to clarify, we have the 4 of Swords in reverse as well. Yeah. Okay. I think you're burning out wherever you are right now. Pile 3, it feels like this setting, the reason you're losing passion for it is because you're working entirely too hard and taking no breaks. But the 7 of Wands in reverse is giving me the impression of like work that's in vain. It's like there's no point doing it because it's not giving you the rewards that you deserve. You're not being compensated fairly for your effort or your time. And you're not even able to like do half a good job and, rest. So it's taking all your time, all your energy, and it's giving you very little in terms of payment. And when you're in this situation, you're being called to not necessarily, drop everything and quit your job or whatever, because the Page of Wands still does have a lot of learning to do, but maybe do like a side gig, maybe start building up a different skill that you could turn into a business. Or consider freelancing, something like that. Something where you can work independently, you can work your own hours, and you can make your own money outside of being dependent on a business to pay you, like someone else's business to pay you. Because and this does feel like more of a creative endeavor, because that Wands energy is almost always creative, that fire energy, at least in the tarot. It definitely feels like a spark. So if there is something that has suddenly caught your attention, some new hobby that you've just suddenly been really obsessed with, this might be a sign that you can potentially follow that as a career path or as a business idea. Just something to think about. I also just heard several streams of income. So maybe you could diversify a little bit where your money comes from. So yeah, you could have a main job, a side gig, maybe investments, that kind of thing. but you're definitely being called to explore beyond just your day job, because that is burning you out, and you definitely need an outlet, and you also definitely need rest. Okay, let's take a look at any blocks though that might be stopping your abundance coming your way. We have the Hierophant. Yeah, this idea of, having a traditional job is the only way to be wealthy. I mean, obviously, at this point in the game, most of us know that that's just not true. But that could be a block. You might feel like a strange loyalty to where you work at today. Well, it's not strange. They essentially shove it down your throat at most corporate offices. But that kind of thinking might be holding you back from much more abundance. There you go. So the Tower in reverse, yeah, there is potentially an ending coming where you just walk away from your current position. But with it in reverse, it does almost feel like it will be controlled. So it's not like you're going to be fired or the business is going to go under or anything like this, but you will voluntarily choose to walk away when the time is right for you. And usually that would indicate that you have enough of a reason to walk away. So it's not just like a risk you're taking. You have like a steady alternative source of income. Right? So I think the block here, though, is this very traditional, almost outdated way of thinking, where you might come from a house where it's always been impressed on you. You have to have a job. You have to have a ready income, like a regular steady income is what I meant to say, not a ready income, but a regular steady income. And, you cannot quit. You cannot jump. You can't jump from job to job. It doesn't matter whether you're getting paid enough, as long as you're getting paid. All of those, old school ways of thinking, they just don't work in this day and age because life is expensive, right? So it is time to reconsider everything you think you understand about having a source of income, because that traditional way of thinking is keeping you small. It's keeping you trapped in a situation that is just really not fair. What else do we have? The Knight of Swords. Interesting. And we have a Page of Wands. Yeah, something is shifting really quickly. And we have the Two of Swords. Yeah, very quickly you're gonna have to make a choice. Yeah, okay. Whoa. All right. I think once you start exploring whatever this skill is, whatever this business idea is, you're going to find that it moves so quickly. It just takes off immediately. And before you know it, you'll be faced with the choice of, do I stay or do I leave? Do I keep this potential part-time, or do I just go, hell for leather and explore just how wealthy I can be? But it will take courage. I think that's why we have the knight here, because knights are very courageous. Historically, they are the ones who do the actual fighting and the actual war and battle and all that. But it is not going to be something you can just randomly decide on one day. It is going to take a lot of thinking, obviously, and a lot of reprogramming your subconscious when it comes to money and security and stability. But I do see that very soon you will have a choice to make. When you start exploring this, you'll be like, oh, I'm actually really, really good at it. And before you know it, you're getting just as much money from just doing this as you did from just doing this for like half the effort. And then come up all the shadows where it's like, oh, but can I trust it? Is there longevity? Can I, rely on this for the foreseeable future? What about retirement? All those things start to come up, all those things you haven't addressed. So you might as well address that way of thinking now and decide your stance on it so that when it comes time to make the choice, you've already decided one way or other. There isn't any right or wrong. It is just about what suits you best. Because I feel, Pile 3, it's not like you don't have money. It's not like you don't have a steady source of income. It's just that it feels like you're selling your soul to do it. It feels like you are tired to the bone just so you can enjoy the abundance that you do, but you don't even get to enjoy it because you have to go to work again. And I think the universe is telling you at this stage in your life, there has to be a better way. There has to be an easier way because you are worth more. Your time is worth way more than what you are being given. And you have to go out there and demand it, ask for it. And if this situation won't give it to you, it's time to create your own situation that will give it to you, right? So finally, let's take a look at advice from the universe about your financial situation. We have deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held. Yeah, you're definitely being called to like take some time to like chill out with this Four of Swords as well. I feel like you're rapidly approaching burnout, Pile 3. I'm not going to lie to you. This definitely feels more like a warning than advice about burnout is approaching. Please be careful. Take some time out now before you go into like full-blown panic mode. And we have the Canary Spirit, sing your own song. Yeah, you are meant to do something individual, something unique, something that no one does. But it also feels like you're going into an existing creative field and then just changing it up entirely. It's like you go in there, you learn the rules, and then you completely destroy them and make your own. And that's how you become insanely successful. That's kind of the vibe I get from you. I get a very trendsetter, rule breaker kind of vibe from you. But I also get the idea that you may not recognize that about yourself. You may not see yourself as that at all. You might see yourself as a very traditional square. But there is a rebel in there. You've just never let it breathe. So maybe it's time. Canary Spirit number 12. So 12 might mean something to you. Sing your own song. Canary Spirit arrives to help you find your authentic voice and express what is in your heart. Free yourself to experience your inner light and let it shine as Canary Spirit sings to remind you of your inherent joy and to support you as you sing your own song. Now is the time to let the world know who you really are. The world wants to hear your song. You can make music with others so beautifully when your note rings true. Beautiful. There is so much excitement coming your way, Pile 3. But if this message resonated, please do let me know in the comments below because I'm eager to see what you come up with and what field you're about to disrupt entirely. But that's your message for today. For your abundance, pile number 3. I hope it resonated. If it did, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really helps the channel out so much. Thanks for being here and letting me read for you today and sharing your energy with me. If you like what I do, if you'd like to support my channel, I have a PayPal tip jar linked in the description below, and thank you so much for checking it out. But yeah, thanks for letting me read for you today. Stick around to the outro for another reading on my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!